What's up, everybody? Kimberly Olson here, also known as the Gold Digger Girl, coming in live for a special training, a special interview with Ashley Toops, and I'm so excited. You have no idea. This girl is a freaking rock star, and we are so lucky that she took time out of her busy schedule to just chat a little bit about what has worked for her. I'm going to bring her on camera. She's awesome. I think that's a record, actually, so this is some good karma right here. Let's give her a second to pop on. And it says she's being added. Oh, adding. Okay, we'll give it a second. My internet was just being silly a second ago. So hi, Ashley. What's
Hello.
up?
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for being on.
Of course.
My little one just started screaming and crying because we just moved her into my 4-year-old's room. And so I thought, oh, of all people, Ashley will understand what it's like when you make a plan and then
and then basement. And I looked at my husband with a look and I said, you guys stay in the basement? Because I have an office door. Actually have an office, but there's no lock on it. So I was like, stay in the basement. Like, give me a half an hour right now.
Just a half an hour, people. Like, that's all I want. I just love that. Okay, you guys that are just popping on, put a 1 in the comments if you're watching this live, put 2 if you're watching the replay. If you're new and you've never seen Ashley before, I think most of you know me, Ashley Toops, put new in the comments so she can connect with you and say hey. And if you share this, you guys know sharing is caring. Share this with anybody you know who is building a business online, who is an entrepreneur, indirect sales, network marketing, maybe does events, and really is just having a hard time maybe figuring out how to fit their business into their lives, because that's what a lot of people do is they start this part-time. So she's going to be able to give you guys a lot of content that can help them. So share it and put share in the comments so we can shout you out and give you a special thank you. So thank you so much. I'm so excited. So Ashley, to start, why don't you bring viewers up to speed a little bit about who you are and your background and what got you into Stella Dot and direct sales?
Okay, so I'm Ashley Toops. I live in a very small town in the middle of Minnesota. And what brought me to Stella Dot? So I actually think my story is a little bit opposite of Kimberly's. To just put it very bluntly, started Stella Dot to get away from my children. I wanted to get away from them. I wanted someone else to put them to bed. I needed a minute because I was going to freak out. Like literally, I had done the corporate thing. I had worked in marketing, and then I had the privilege and the choice to stay home with my children. I wanted to do that. And there I was. I had 4 kids in 4.5 years. Don't know why I did that. I recommend that. But there I was. I had a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a brand new baby. And my husband was busy and traveling on the weekends and working late. And I remember he came home from work one night and I'm standing there like probably with a baby on the boob. I don't even know. I was like, I was nursing. We were doing nebs around the clock with a different kid. And here I am. This is like what I wanted to do. Like, I was like, I just wish I could be at home with my babies. And I had this like longing to be a stay-at-home mom. So I'm doing that. And I didn't realize like there was a whole nother side of me that just was like, please let me out. Like this, I'm just breaking inside, but I feel so bad and guilty saying that I'm not loving it because all these working moms, like they only wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. You know, it's like the grass is always greener. Here I was as a stay-at-home mom. And then you feel bad. You don't want to complain about these 4 kids, amazing, beautiful children. And I was just broken. My husband literally came home from work one night. He said, how was your day? And I, like a crazy person, was like, how was my day? I don't even know. Like, because I was just so overwhelmed with like my role as a mother that I kind of lost my role as everything else in life. Like, I was like, what am I doing with my life? I literally was like sitting on the floor and my husband was like, I think you might need a hobby. Like, bless his heart. He was like, I think you might need something. Like, are you actually crazy? Like, what's happening? And I had been invited to a Stella Dot online party like the night before. And I remember looking at this $69 necklace and being like, there's no way. Like, you also have this guilt of spending money, I think, when you stay at home. That, like, my husband never put that on me. Like, I put that on myself. And I was like, I can't buy this necklace. And then that night, like, my husband was like, you need a hobby. And I'm like, what am I doing? I just signed up for Stella Dot. I had never seen a catalog. I had never owned a piece of the jewelry, but I was ready to go. It was go time.
You're like, I got to get out of this house. Yeah, and
I ought to
I
get
think
away from
even
my children.
yeah, but I think like even though like I have had the transition in the opposite, and when my husband's out of town, I don't do well. Like I'm not cut out to be a stay-at-home mom, and I think people who are, I'm just like blown away and just impressed. But I think when you can get away from your kids, I think you're a better mom. Like I don't know, whenever because I have a business trip this weekend, and I'm like looking forward to it because I know it's going to recharge me, and I'll come back and just want to hug them and snuggle them, and so I think it's really healthy, you know, as a mom too. So I don't even think it's about feeling, you know, like you're a bad mom because you want to go do that. I think it helps you, you know, to, like you said, you just needed to find a hobby, but find something for yourself too. And God bless him that he recognized that and gave you permission, you know?
Yeah, your cup definitely,
That's
like,
awesome.
before you overflow into others, before you can overflow to your kids, your husband, to your team, to your family, like your cup has to be flow. And if you're pouring from an empty cup, and I was pouring from an empty cup to my kids as a stay-at-home mom, not even like realizing until it was like nothing left to give. So that like that just completely changed. Like you have to fill your cup before you can fill other people's cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said go time. And I think I just can imagine all these people that message me, and that's what I wanted them to hear you say is they are one, they're finding a hard time working it in, but two, I feel like they're making an excuse a little bit because they're afraid to actually take the time for themselves and make themselves a priority. Because think about it, some of them maybe do work full time and are wanting to add in something else, right? Or they've been raising their children and now they're saying, well, I want to do something and raise these children. And, you know, there's some dynamics at home and stuff like that. So how did you make that transition? Because you said go time, and I know you mean that. How did you make that transition with 4 little kids? You know, how did you do that?
Okay, so here's the thing, and I get super passionate about it, but there has to come a time in your life where, and I've shared this before, where you just decide you're going to do it. Like the best way to do something is to do something, to not talk about it, to not choose the best filter, to not, you know, find the best hashtags, or to not talk to Kim about what you should do. I mean, the best way, like even if you're sitting on here trying to figure out what to do, get off of here and go do it. Just do your stuff. The best way to do something is to do it. I talk about, you know, there's 3 frogs on a log and they all talk about like they're going to jump, like who's going to jump into the river. And one decides to jump into the river. And well, at the end of the day, how many are on the log? How many frogs are left on the log? All of them, because deciding to do something and doing something are completely 2 different things. And if you want change in your life, then just make the change, then do the things. Don't ask someone how to change. Don't read about, you know, changing it or watch this audio. Just do the change, like be in control. I think today, especially, everything is at our fingertips. Like we can't make an excuse for not knowing how to do something. You don't know how to build a deck? Google how to build a deck and build the deck. That's what my husband did. We're like newlyweds, we have our first house. We don't know what the crap we're doing. Google how to build a deck. I don't know. We followed some plans. We built the deck. You don't know how to build a business? Google it. Like you have no excuses. So yes, baby on the boob, baby on full-time, like nebs, like my husband traveling. I could make every excuse in the book, but you have to just do it. Like I had to just, I had to change in my heart. Like there I am crying on the kitchen floor, like, oh, boo-hoo, I'm a stay-at-home mom and now it's too overwhelming. Like, get over myself, Ashley. If I want change, then do the change. So I just did the change. Like I made the change. Because there's
you made the change.
So many Kimberly Olsons, and like you can read like Rachel, you could listen to Rachel Hollis, whatever, and listen to me all day. But at the end of the day, we can't make you do the thing. So just do that thing. Take that massive action. There's this little quote I post all the time on my team page. Like the best way to do it is to do it. So do you want to be at the top of the leaderboard? Do you want to sell this much shampoo? Well, do it. And if you don't know how to do it, Google it. I guarantee you're going to find something's going to pop up.
Yeah, you'll find something.
You got to jump though.
And
you can't just decide and say like, okay, now I'm going to start this business. And, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was completely like, okay, I have all these babies. And like, now I didn't know the name of jewelry and like every single necklace and how much people would literally be like, how much do those earrings cost? I would have no clue. Okay. I didn't even know what they are made out of. Someone's like, what are your earrings made out of? And I was like, I don't know, but I'm here.
Let me
like I
that.
showed up. Like I'm trying my best. And that all came. But you can't make excuses for like all these things. And I think we do that in our businesses now too. Like the reason we don't ask like your neighbor to join you in the business, or you don't ask your neighbor to host a jewelry show or a wine and wash, is because in our minds, we've already defeated. We've already made every excuse. She just had a baby. She's never gonna, like, she'll think I'm way too insensitive if I reach out to her now. Or they just, you know, her husband travels all the time. She probably doesn't want to have a jewelry business, or all these things. I mean, that was me. I was all those things. I was the woman who just had a baby and way overwhelmed with too many kids. So don't think we know their whys. And we talk ourselves out of everything. So why not for once say, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to believe in myself, and I'm going for it. Like, just believe in yourself. Do it. Do the things, you guys.
Love it. No, that's awesome. I love it. And we do hear your passion for sure. And I get a lot, like I just had a girl today who was like, could you send me a screenshot of like exactly what you're saying to people in Messenger? I was like, you know what? I can't. And this is why, because that's my conversation. It's not your conversation. We need to figure out how you can independently think and build a relationship with somebody. Let's talk about that. And so I think you saying, trying to figure it out and have it perfect. Like, I'm with you. I had no idea what I was doing this last year to build my brand. No clue about how do you write a book and have it published, or how do you like start doing boot camps. Like, I literally scheduled it and had no clue how to do Zoom. I'm like, well, somehow I'm gonna get all the people together. Like, I just prayed. And so I think you are so passionate about it because you want it for people so bad. I wish that people could just realize, like, we don't know what we're doing, but when you jump and go for it, you're going to figure it out as you go, right? Like, look we're both okay. We're more than okay. So would you rather be on the sidelines or be living it, right? And so for you, for those reach outs, because I know you're not afraid to like ask, like even that's how we first connected. I don't know if you remember. So Ashley and I, the backstory, we cold messaged each other. So we didn't know each other. And the way she cold messaged me, I was like, this girl's different. So I like started like stalking your page. And I was like, I need to connect with her. I need to like pick her brain. And so I loved how right away you were just like very direct, and you're like, hey, just checking in. I don't know if you have a Stella Dot consultant, but I'd love to help you. It was just very confident. Your posture was like spot on. But how did you get through the ups and downs as far as rejection or people saying no? Like, what do you think to yourself when you just go for it?
So one thing, and I think this is always evolving and changing, is you can't let all the no's define what you're trying to do. Like, you just have to get, and that's something like, that's on you. Like, you got to get to a point where I'm going for this, and your opinion of what this is, or, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm starting this jewelry business. Everyone's going to think I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and, you know, all these like negative things. Who's going to buy my $100 necklaces? And everyone's going to think I'm crazy. And I'm just one of those, you know, another one of those people. Like, get rid of all that. And how about choose to believe and see the good? We focus on all these little negatives. And I just was like, right away, I'm not going to let that define. Like, I know who I am as a person, and I know my why. And I think right away I shared with my customers, like everyone doing it. What made me different, I think from the get-go and my business, is it wasn't so much about the products. It was like, you have to put yourself out there. What makes my Stella Dot business different than someone else's Stella Dot business is me. And what makes your business, Kim, different than all the other is you. That's what your customers want. That's what they're going to respond to. It's easy to post like, oh, look at these Stella Dot necklaces on sale, and look at our new getaway bag. And it's easy to post that, but to let them in, to share something vulnerable about yourself or your life, or maybe like you truly need the finances. There was a time last year where we were like in between 2 house payments, and I was like, okay, this is for real. Like, this ain't like, I've never had any pressure before. Like, I was like, oh, my fun little job. And I was like, whoa. And for a while, I like never wanted to share that with my customers, because it was like, but letting them into that, that's what they want to see. They will react and respond to you. And then when they're ready to shop or see what you're offering, they'll know who to come to. But you got to like let that down and let that vulnerability come up. It's like, okay, here I am, stay-at-home mom of 4, always been a little on the crazy freaky side. Some people like think, you know, take it or leave it. Here I am, and oh, I have this jewelry business on the side. If you want to check it out, let's do this thing.
I think that's awesome. And I think people really respond to that because it's refreshing, you know, and also too, like there is a stigma around direct sales because people do just post the sales and all the stuff. And then they're just like, you want to buy my stuff. But I think if you can remember that we're people and we want to buy from our girlfriends, you know, like that's what I'm so drawn to these online events. And that's what you just are a rock star at, is to me, the experience is so different because I have a girlfriend who's brought her girlfriends together to be introduced to me, and I can share my story of how I really wanted to be home with my kids and I missed my little one's first steps because I was working 60 hours a week. It makes me cry every time I want to say it. But they see that and they're like, okay, cool. She's a normal mom. This is her business. You know, you think about the buy local push. I was just in Whole Foods this morning, needed some avocados, you know, emergency. And I was just noticing everywhere you go, there's a little picture of the lady who made the soap, buy local. Like people are drawn to that. And so we need to remember we're that person. And so don't hide behind your company. It's be yourself. And I love how that you said, just be real and raw with people. People love that, you guys. I can't say it enough. They want to know who you are, and just don't ever be afraid or apologize for who you are. You know, just show up the way that you are. I love that, Ashley. That's awesome. That's really good. So as far as people who are making the transition where they have decided they're going to run their business and they've found their why, they're like, I'm going to kill it. What advice would you give them to kind of wrap it up? Like what you've learned so far, if you wish you could talk to yourself that had just started, what advice would you give them just to close with as far as, you know, talking to that newbie getting started, as far as just going for it and going after it? What kind of advice would you like to share?
So I would just say that a little bit of progress every day is so much better than perfection. I think as women, as moms, and in the world of always comparing yourself, and I know I usually come across as a really confident person, but I struggle. I compare myself to my sisters. Like we all do it. So we have to just give ourselves a little bit of grace too. Like the window of it's okay. We're going to make mistakes, because all those little mistakes, every time I told the customer, it was like, I was like, oh, it's $79. And then I looked and it was like way more. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm telling people the wrong prices. But every single one of those little mistakes, and sometimes they were big mistakes, they brought me to the success of where I am today. So we can't look at it. Like we get one little no. We can get 5 people saying, oh, I'd love to buy a necklace. And then that one little no, all of a sudden in our hearts, we're like, why are we doing this business? I should just quit. I'm no good. Like no one wants to buy my dumb necklaces. And we've unraveled from one little no. Like I literally started doing this newsletter, and you can test the analytics of your newsletter. And I was like, oh, look at like 400 people have viewed my newsletter. And I was sharing my husband. And then I was like, you could see when people unsubscribed. And I kid you not,
I do this.
Messed me up. I was like, oh my gosh, why would these 12 people, they hate me.
I know.
They hate me. And like, I was so like, why do I even do this? I'm so sick of this. I'd rather work at Starbucks. Like, people hate me. And my husband's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, settle down, Ashley. 400 people. We have to look at we got to figure out our scope. And even like, this was like 6 months ago. You got to just kind of check yourself and realize, like, we got to filter that out. And we have to continually learn as women when new people come into our lives. I mean, talk about, like, I'm sure in the hair world too. I mean, these selfies that people take with their luscious locks, and then you're like, oh my gosh, should I even post my picture because here I am and I got frames. And then we like talk ourselves out of sharing, like these girls with their jewelry pictures, and they're like superstars. And then I'm like, oh geez, maybe I should post their picture instead of mine because they're like so pretty, and they have like a professional photographer that follows them around. And I'm like, you know, I'd rather, but no, they want to see you, even with all your flaws. And, you know, if my hair's in a ponytail and if I have sweats on, because so give yourself some grace. Don't be so hard on yourself. Take little steps each day. And when you fail, you got to get up and do it again. Because that's what, you don't just go to success and like, oh, nothing happened ever. I never had any, you know, backslides. Like, this is my life. You know, that's not realistic. So you're gonna like plan for that, plan that out. So give yourself some grace as you go along for the ride. Plan in that you're gonna fail. Like I plan in. I have so many trunk shows, like that's what we call in the Stella Dot world. And I just plan that some of those are gonna be a bust. Like it's in the plan. So I'm not getting down about it. Early on, I was like, if I would have a trunk show, I remember going to one and I had like one sale, one $29 sale. And I was like, what am I doing? Like I had one sale and I was so just torn up about that. Plan for it. You're going to have a little bit about that, you know? So yeah, I was number one in trunk shows for Stella Dot, like getting together, you know, what style sessions, whatever you guys call them. You know how many no's I had to get those yeses? If I would have held on to the no's, I probably had over 500 people tell me directly no to my face. Over 500 people. But you know what? 127 people said yes. So remember the yeses. Okay, guys, do it. Don't, and give yourself some grace. You can do it. Get up, jump off that log, go do what you want to do. Maybe it's related to business. Maybe it's related to cooking a nice supper for you, you know, for your family every night of the week. Whatever it is, do it. Google it. Google can teach you how to do it. You don't need someone else's external motivation. Something in you has to say, it's go time.
I love that. Well, you mentioned your newsletter. How can people find you? Like if they want to get on your newsletter, do you have like a website or should they put their email or how can people find you?
Well, first of all, if you drive to the little town of Piers, Minnesota, you could stop anywhere along the road and ask, where's Ashley? And they all would drive you personally to my house because that's the kind of community I live in. They'd say, oh, we'll show you where she lives. I'm going to drop my info below.
Okay.
But ashleytoops@hotmail.com is my email for reaching all things. I can share my Stella Dot info below if you want to check out my lovely earrings that I put on, you guys.
Christmas time.
Sweatpants, but I'm fooling you all with these babies tonight. So I will put my info, but I'd love just to connect with you and encourage you. Sometimes we do need a few little external motivators. But there's got to be something in you, and I would love to be one for you. So I will put my info. I'm at Mama Toops on Twitter and Instagram. And I thank you so much for having me on, Kimberly. I love our little connect. Be bold.
I know. I'm so excited.
I literally cold messaged her saying, hey, you want to have a Stella Dot trunk show? Like, just go bold. Who do you want to ask? Make a list and go ask them whatever you got.
And now here we are, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Give her some hearts. I'll let you off because I know you're hiding right now. And I've got a couple housekeeping. She's going to be at the virtual summit on December 8th, so I'm going to talk to you guys about that right now. Thank you, Ashley.
Bye,
you're the best. Thank you. All right, girls. So she's amazing, totally studette. So I wanted to give you guys a couple updates to wrap this up. I actually have an online party right now. So I'm going to hop off of here in a second. But this week I have a 15-minute Facebook party workshop holiday edition. So if you like the idea of what she talked about, she was actually #1 for her company for trunk shows. The 15-minute Facebook party was an event that you have somebody host for you. So I'm going to show you how to set the groups up, the events, what content to post, the calendar for it, how to invite people, scripts, all that stuff, and how to really maximize the holidays. We have Cyber Monday, Black Friday, which are huge in our business. My team did more on Black Friday than they'd done the entire month last year. So if you're new to it, it's a very exciting time if you're in sales because everybody's shopping. So the holiday edition, I'm going to show you how to take advantage of this holiday season with all the shopping going on. So just put your email below and put or you can put 15-minute Facebook party workshop, put party in the comments. I want a party, put your email and I'll get you in on it. It's Thursday night, 8 p.m. Central, but you can get the recording right after. I'll stream live into a Facebook group and you'll have access to the recording for life. It's new content if you've done it before. Also get your teams on it. And then I have a branding boot camp starting next week. So if you want to monetize your brand, monetize your mission, and learn how to do what I've done in such a short period of time, it's a 6-week Rock Your Branding Boot Camp. So put branding boot camp in the comments with your email as well, and I'll get you hooked up for that. And last but not least is the Social Media Influencer Summit. So Ashley will be featured. It's December 8th, save the dates. And so I'll have the registration up for this soon, and it will be an all-day event. So I'm going to have 10 different speakers. We're going to be talking about all kinds of content. I'm going to have Janya Joy on we're going to talk about the law of attraction, how to use it to get anything that you want. We're also going to have Amy McNally on. She's a tapping specialist. She's going to teach you how to tap for overcoming things such as rejection, fear, and just to help you sell more. Christy Deli and Megan Weichel, I really need to learn how to say her last name. Megan, I'm so sorry. They are both amazing entrepreneurs, but are very good at self-love and self-discovery and really learning how to take care of yourself, but to be able to be bold and go after what you want. So we're going to go through master mindset. Then we're going to do social media success with Chelsea Fournier of The Intentional Entrepreneur. She's very organized, so she's going to help you with your daily method of operations, what's your prospecting flow with people who are interested in your business. I'm going to go over content creation, so I'm going to help you plan out your social media calendar, which is really exciting with content. Then we're going to have myself, Lindsay Sewell, and Charlotte Lasasso are killer at attraction marketing. Go search their pages. You're going to see what I'm talking about. We're going to hash it out and help you guys with attraction marketing. Victoria Alexander and Ashley Toops, that was just on, is going to talk about recruiting. I'm sure you're not surprised. Ashley is a stud at when it comes to recruiting, and so is Victoria. She recruited me. And then we'll finish the day with hashtag Boss Babe Branding. Kara Lewis Newton is going to talk about finding your tribe. She organically built a following on social media, and I will finish up the day with becoming an influencer. So you'll purchase a ticket for the whole day. The first 50 to register, if you guys actually want to get pre-sale tickets, just put Summit in the comments and I'll give you guys pre-sale access. The first 50 to register will get a digital swag bag, and in it will be all kinds of goodies from our presenter. So we'll be giving away free content in the swag bag that you can actually download or have access to just by registering for being the first 50 people. So December 8th, save the date. It's going to be monumental. We're going to get you set up for 2019. It's going to be awesome. Okay, Wednesday night on my business page, The Gold Digger Girl, we are going to have a Facebook Live training, and I totally have to go because I have to do this party. Okay, Ashley's so amazing. I'm so thankful for her connection. She's awesome. Go watch that again, you guys. If you're ever feeling go watch her again, and she's going to say, get off the log and do it, okay? All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.